Hello there. This is Mary of Spiritual Voices. How are all of my beautiful souls? I hope that this episode finds you safe and living in love and light. I'm connecting with you to bring you another message about the coronavirus and the fifth dimensional shift. My greatest hope is to ease the stress, anxiety, and worry. Know that all of this will pass soon. Our lives will always be changed. And a new way of living is definitely going to emerge for us. But believe me when I say that our lives will be better for it. The collective whole will be better for it. I'm here to share a message of hope, promise, and healing. A message of not only spiritual truth, but spiritual growth as well. I know that the times seem scary, uncertain, and unknown, but believe me, my beautiful souls, when I tell you that it's not what it seems. I promise you. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and all we need to do is release the fear of the coronavirus to send through the energy of love and light and healing, and it will leave as swiftly and quickly as it came. Love and light is always stronger than the darkness. Ask yourself, what are you? While everything feels up in the air and scary at the moment with the coronavirus, we need to get past this fear and see what an exciting time we are living in. We are now entering the shift into the fifth dimension. The coronavirus is just the beginning for us. We are going to be lifted into a higher plane of love and light. Unfortunately and sadly, those who are not ready to vibrate at such a level had to be left behind. That is sad and leaves a heavy heart for many of a soul, but a soul contract was signed by these souls before they came to be of existence on this planet to learn and to grow. Many, though not physically conscious of it, knew their fate and their role for raising the vibration of the collective whole into the fifth dimension. This is the time of great transition as we all prepare for the quantum leap into the spiritual consciousness. This is the beginning. We have several years and several chakra levels to grow through and to elevate through before we get there. But without a doubt, we are on our way. I send you love, light, and healing energy and ask that you release all fear of the sickness of the coronavirus. Do what has been asked of you, but know that fear, mistrust, and anger allows the darkness and the sickness to hold on longer. If you can work on holding on to love, faith, healing, and light energy and send this kindness out to others, we can all together dispel the darkness with the light. I know to a lot of people these words sound odd, but if you slow down just a little bit and take a look around you in your everyday life, then take a look at your work, your community, then push your thoughts out just a little bit further and take a look at what's going on in the world around you, you can see this shift. Maybe it's a little less seeing it than somebody else who's more spiritually evolved. But if you're honest with yourself, you can see it. The old way of doing things, the old structures, the old ideals, they are slowly starting to crumble and collapse. As we look around, more and more people are slowing down and really starting to pay attention. More and more people are slowing down and really tuning in and connecting. More and more people are slowing down and are really taking the time to actually be in the present moment. We are all taking the time to get down to what matters the most. Love, light, family, and taking care of each other. Look around, and I know that you will see this as the truth. This is because humanity is starting to awaken. We are finally beginning to shift. We just needed something to slow us down. We've all seen patterns in our own lives, shifts, new gifts emerge, new ways of doing things emerge. This is because we are evolving and ascending and spiritually growing. Some in more ways than others, yes, but nonetheless we are all evolving. The way we see ourselves is changing. The way we see our relationships is changing. The way we work is changing. The way we see our work relationships, that's changing as well. I know that all this brings up anxiety and stress and extreme, intense, restless emotions arise. But keep yourself grounded. Keep your faith and know that everything is going to be okay. I ask you to breathe in deeply and tell yourself that everything is going to be okay. Tell yourself that you are safe and well loved and that you are fine. I know that the coronavirus is a scary thing. Know that after this darkness, we will see the light at the end of the tunnel. I know one of the saddest parts of this virus is that it comes in and it's clearing out of the old energy. This has broken so many ties and so many hearts. And sometimes, though, the universe knows what we need is a collective whole, and when we are ready for the next stage of our shift, and sometimes it'll force us through. Unfortunately, sometimes with a harsh reality. And just like a loving parent forcing us in a tough love scenario, through this reality we learn what is really important. It's time to grasp on to love, light, peace, harmony, and family. This is the time to sit in meditation and raise your vibration, to working on your spirituality and to release your fear. This is the time to release the old way of thinking and believing and doing things. The old truth, it no longer exists. This is the time to delve deep into who you are and discover your own spiritual truth and know that everything is going to work out beautifully. It's time to discover that everything is magical, and it's time to let go of your anxiety and start living with inner peace. It is time to embrace exciting new experiences, both material and spiritual. Fill your life with spiritual awakening, joy, and spiritually free yourself. Radiate love from your heart and begin to live your soul's purpose. This will bring you a feeling of oneness that you never knew could exist. You will begin to live the truth that we are all one, that you are a part of a collective whole, and that together we are all powerful. The ancient magic that was once lost and hidden away is ready to emerge, and we all will live whole and complete within the universal truth. The shift to the fifth dimension is here, and the old ways are dying, and a new spiritual magic is being reborn, and we are on the brink of a whole new way of being and a whole way of opening up. We are stepping into an amazing spiritual time, and this is just the beginning. All we need to do is let go of the fear and tap into what spirituality means to us. Let go of all of the old dogmas. Let go of all of the old religions. Let go of what we've been raised to condition to believe. It's time to tap into what spirituality really, truly means to you. Slow down and tune in for just a moment. Now tell me, when you tap into your soul and you think about spirituality, what is the first thing that pulls to you? What is the first thing that calls you in? What draws you in? Is it Buddhism? Is it Christianity? Is it being Wiccan? Is it being pagan? Is it witchcraft? These are all religions, and none of them are negative. They all believe in love and light and healing, all in a different way, but all in their own way. It doesn't matter what path you follow, it all leads to the same end. What matters is that you are spiritually free and you are feeding your soul. At the end of the day, it's all about having faith and raising your vibration. That's what truly matters. Do what calls to you. Let go of the worry of what other people might think. The beautiful thing about this new era is that what draws me in, it doesn't have to be what draws you in. And what draws you in doesn't have to be what draws your friends in, just as long as you are drawn in. Just be drawn in. As long as your vibration rises, that's all that matters. When your vibration rises, the vibration of the collective whole will rise. This is what will set you spiritually free. This is what will set us all spiritually free. What an extraordinary time to be alive. I know that there seems to be chaos, but we need the chaos because through chaos becomes new beginnings. Everything cycles, and this is the way of life. We cannot have one without the other. It's impossible. We cannot have the yin without the yang, the black without the white, the darkness without the light. They go together. It's so important to stay positive and to focus on love and light because fear will not serve us. Meditate to be strong and steady spiritually. This will help you see with the truth. It's time to move forward and hear your calling and to hear your purpose. You were meant for so much more, especially now that we are being ushered into a new era on this planet. Don't allow fear to hold you back or to rule your energy. Have faith that there is a greater purpose to all of this and that we are all going to emerge with a higher spiritual purpose. Feel secure and surround yourself with love and light. Allow yourself to heal and treat yourself with compassion and kindness. We need to hold space for those who are living in fear and getting sick and possibly dying. This is the first stage of the 7 of our spiritual stages of ascension. It will take up to 7 years. Each year will represent a chakra. This is the year the collective holds root chakra, which is being cleansed and grounded and regenerated. Pain does not go unexperienced during this time because fear is still present and the root chakra centers around feeling secure and grounded. Therefore, we are going to have issues that come up that stem around fear. This is so we'll learn how to deal with them and we'll grow as a collective whole. That is why at the moment we are being forced to stay home so that we can recharge and we can rebalance. Home is where we learn to ground. Home is where the heart is. Home is where we find our security. Home is where we find ourselves again. Home is where we will begin, once again, to find our own truth, to find our higher self. That pain will decrease, as will the fear, as people's energy fields are cleaned up and healed. The more you release the fear, the stronger you will be. The less you fear, the stronger your aura and the stronger your spiritual energy. The more balanced you are, the stronger your vibration. It's time to hold the higher spiritual truth in your heart. It's time to begin the 7 steps of spiritual growth to ascension. It's time to begin to grow and heal and to help others do so as well. It's time to break down the parts of yourself that are in the way of your own happiness. You need to stop trying to be right or wrong. And you need to stop trying to fulfill the idea of perfection. This type of stress in our life blocks us from being truly happy and prevents us from exploring who we really are. It's time to break down our egos. It's time to break down our self-doubt and our stubbornness and our self-sabotaging behaviors, our pride and our arrogance. It's time to dig away the layers of us and finally find out who we truly are underneath it all. Once we tear back these layers, we can take a step back and observe our good qualities as well as our bad qualities. We all have them. This is where we begin to become aware of how our actions affect others. This is what we call spiritual maturity. This is a big part of spiritual transformation. Through this transformation, we begin deeper stages of healing. This is where we separate ourselves from certain situations and feelings, like freeing ourselves from anger by forgiving someone, not by letting go of the disappointment over what they have done to us, but by freeing our hearts of the pain. This alone opens your heart chakra and takes you to the next spiritual level because you've freed your soul. Opening up your heart chakra and freeing your soul is vital for your ascension into the 5th dimension. When your heart chakra is open, you truly accept yourself. You accept the good with the bad. This is how you can live your life as a true spiritual authentic self. This connects you to the universal light of conscious awareness. This is where you begin the process of transmutation and rebirth. Sort of like when a grape is turned into a fine wine. You are becoming the more refined you. This is where you will experience your moments of great inner peace and stillness. When you can learn how to manifest this and learn how to live this as much as you possibly can daily, you will discover such profound inner transformation that you will live in spiritual enlightenment. This is where you will find yourself connected to your higher soul, connected to your higher self. This is where you'll find yourself at a meeting point between the two opposites of the spiritual self and the raw matter, which is your physical self. This is the culmination of heaven and hell, of life and death. This is the point of your existence where you become completely self-aware and you realize that there is truly no hell, that there is truly no death, just a never-ending cycle of energy. The only real hell is being reincarnated here on earth only to relive the same horrible mistakes and lessons over and over again, never to learn from them. These are the people that you meet that are the criminals, or suffer great illness, bipolar diseases that they can't recover from, or do horrible things to others and find themselves in the same old patterns. No one ever really dies. Their vessels just give out, and then their soul energy leaves that vessel and crosses over to the other side and waits to be evolved just a little bit higher until its next journey. A genuine transmutation requires that the causes of the origins of problems and pains, suffering, are changed thoroughly so a new effect can emerge. That change isn't easy. It's all about death and rebirth. That's what causes the transmutation. Before a new part of us can be born, something else must be released so that it dies and transmutes. If it doesn't die off in some shape or form, it'll never go through that transformation process. The transformation process is brought on by self-realization, by mind, body, and soul. Now, if you're listening and you're someone who is stuck in a pattern, listen to my words. Hear what I say. Better yet, feel what I say. Things can be different. Everything can be different, and it can start today. We can release the fear of the coronavirus. It has no control over us. Light will win over the darkness. Soon this energy will clear out, and we will see the light at the end of the tunnel. Message me on my Facebook page, Spiritual Voices, if you are in need of guidance and help. Stay tuned for more guided meditations. Check out my YouTube channel and tune in to the new internet radio station across the Golden Veil. You can find us on Facebook, and if you go to www.acrossthegoldenveil.com, all lowercase, you will be able to pull up the radio station immediately. There is not only my podcast that on there, but the podcast that I do with Gigi, Paranormal XL, as well as her true crime and many other absolutely amazing podcasts on there. All spiritual, entertaining, informative, just podcasts that will blow your mind. There's also the Afterlife Paranormal that give short snippets of their investigations. So just take the time to tap into there and tune in for just a little while. I know without a doubt you will be entertained. If you have any questions or if you have any kind of requests, send me an email at acrossthegoldenveil@yahoo.com. If you are interested in booking a reading, booking an astrology reading, or if you are just looking for some kind of advice or information. I thank you so much for listening, and I appreciate you all. My greatest wish is that you realize that you are not alone. The spirit in me salutes the spirit in you. Mary.